Hello and welcome to Talk a Good Game as a preview of Aston Villa against West Ham United. We are missing Charlie tonight. He's meant to be there, but his internet's gone down, so you're just stuck with myself and Gonzo, who has come on just before the show and said I don't know too much about Aston Villa, but he has been researching in the last 5 minutes. But Gonzo, what's your very brief thoughts on Aston Villa?
Well, they wear claret and blue, and they were founded in look. When a team gets promoted, they start with a spring in their step, and I would think Aston Villa, more than anybody, would have an air of optimism. Obviously, the previous season they just missed out on promotion, so they came up. They almost went out of business. Of course, they got some investment came in, and they've been promoted this season. They've spent big on players, bought lots and lots of players, so their tails would have been up and they would have been looking forward to the season. Everyone was talking about how fantastic these new players were coming in. Of course, keeping Jack Grealish was a massive thing for them. But what also tends to happen when you get a lot of these promoted clubs, after the excitement sort of fizzles out a little bit of joining the Premier League, they sort of plateau a little bit with their form. So you'll often find they come up and they gain a lot of points early on in the season. Well, that's actually not happened with Aston Villa. So they've had the excitement, they've had the tails up and the tails wagging and everyone being up for it. They've had praise for some of their players and some of their signings, but they still find themselves down near the bottom of the league. And so maybe they've just really flattered to deceive. They've had some good performances. Of course, Tyrone Mings got called up to the England squad, but they would have liked to have more points on the table, particularly bearing in mind all the good press they had in the build-up to the start of the Premier League.
I've watched quite a lot of Villa this season. I watched the game against Spurs. They're very unlucky. They almost scored too early in that game. There's a bit of pressure. Once they scored, there's a case of, well, you've now got to defend for the rest of the game. You've got to defend for over 80 minutes now at home to Spurs. It's not an easy thing to do. I've seen them beat Everton 2-0 at Villa Park. And I've seen their highlights of their other games. By all means, they weren't very good in their last one, away to Palace, and there was all that controversy over the ghost equaliser. You said it wasn't a dive though, so
sorry.
I
didn't say that. I
said
it was a dive.
It was me that said it was a dive. It was you. We were splitting that. But I think they've got some really good players in their team. I want to see Villa stay up. Actually, I've enjoyed watching them play, and if they weren't playing West Ham this weekend, I would be thinking I might tune into the Villa game because of the style, the brand they play. They're very open. They've got, well, we'll come on to their good players. Do you think they'll stay up though? Because at the end of the day, that's what it's all about for Villa this season. It's about staying in the Premier League. Because if they don't, they're going to struggle to keep a hold of some of their players. Do you think come May they'll be looking forward to season number 2?
Yeah, quite possibly, because you say come May. The reason they probably will is because come January, they are in trouble. They've got the finances to go and buy again, so they could go and fill in on whatever their problem positions might be. So, yeah, I would think they've got every chance. Any team with money's got a damn good chance of staying up, and the manager seems okay, and they've got a good nucleus. It takes a long time for these players to get used to each other as well. There's a lot of changes, a lot of new signings. Did they sign 11 players, or was it something like that?
Maybe even more.
I know they're not all starting. Well, particularly if there's even more, they're not all starting. But the more they bed in with each other, the more their form is gonna improve. I think they'll be fine.
I do think, though, some of those signings were there last season as well. Mings was there, El Ghazi was there. They just turned them into permanent deals, so it still counts as a new signing, but it's not really a new signing, is it? I think they've made clever signings. I think Tom Heaton's one of the cleverest signings of the summer, if that makes sense. You've already seen him so far making vital saves for Villa. I think Mings fully deserves his call up to the England squad. Of course, I've got my countryman John McGinn in there. I think he's doing well. Him and Grealish are the most foul players this season so far. Both of them.
They are foul players.
First and second. So it goes to show that there can be trouble. So, which But I think they'll stay up as well. I think they've got goals in them. I always say to you, you have to score to stay up. There's no if you've got a good defence but a poor attack, you're still in trouble. Goals will keep you up, not clean sheets. What players do you like / fear from Villa ahead of Monday night?
Oh, well, let me just click on that. No, well, obviously, clearly, Jack Grealish is the floppy head maestro in the middle. Floats around, doesn't he? I like him. He's got that floating, and I don't mean like a turd. He floats around and he dictates play, and these class players have always got space around them, and he always seems to have time and space on the ball. Plays with his head up, which is always a really good thing. Of course, you've mentioned Mings as well. He was a left back, wasn't he, at Ipswich, and I think Bournemouth paid big money for him. Actually, he was Cresswell's replacement. That's why they didn't mind. And he played, and obviously went to Bournemouth, got an injury, and then he's sort of metamorphosised into a centre half, and a damn good one as well. I know you obviously Wesley as well looks like and I know you picked him out quite a while ago as well, and he does look like he's a damn fine player as well. So and of course, Jimmy McMagin in the middle is your countryman. I've not seen him play too much, but obviously I remember you highlighted him again. You're quite good at this as well, aren't you? Because you highlighted that Trezeguet as well. So 3 players that you highlighted from your scouting network many moons ago. I remember seeing some footage of him when he was at Hibs. Was it? McGinn was at Hibs. So looks like he'd be a good player, and we were linked to him as well. So they got plenty of good players in there.
Yeah, I think so. Trezeguet suspended for this game, so he will be playing. So El Ghazi will probably come in on the left for Villa that game, which I'm relieved about because Trezeguet isn't good to me for Villa. Wesley's my biggest concern, but I'll come on to that at the end because when I was writing that question for the West Ham half, it's a bit of a struggle when you've just won. It's a bit of a struggle because normally we talk about team selection. There's not much to talk about. So there's a bit about Wesley later on. The one player that I actually fear the most is Jota. When I watched him play Everton, he was playing out on the right. He's left-footed. He just kept cutting in, but every time he cut in, Wesley ran. Wesley knew as soon as he cuts in, run, because he will find you. And they got their first goal from it. They took a quick free kick at halfway line. Jota got the ball, cut inside, and Wesley just ran between 2 centre-backs in behind. The ball was perfect, and he's 1-on-1 with the keeper. Jota will cause us problems out on that side just because he keeps cutting in onto his stronger foot, and it's just through balls that will cause us trouble. I do like Villa. The problem is they don't know that he doesn't know his strongest 11 yet. I was looking at the Villa team for this weekend, and you can guess, Grealish, McGinn will be there, Wesley will be up front, Mings will be a centre back. But then they're saying they're not sure who'll be right back, and there might be a change in the centre midfield partnership alongside McGinn. They've also got that big signing from City, haven't they? Douglas Louis. Yes. He scored that absolute banger against Bournemouth, didn't he? So there's rumours that he might be dropped for this game already. I mean, he's only started the last 2, I think, and he's maybe get dropped. But anyway, enough about Villa. Let's talk about West Ham. Team news is the same. Winston Reid and Mikel Antonio are the only 2 absentees. Everyone else is ready to go. Gonzo, is it a case of 11 to start against Norwich City? Start again on Monday night for you?
I guess so. Yes. I guess you've got to play Yarmolenko, haven't you? Because, well, for obvious reasons, because he scored a goal. I think had he not have done, he probably wouldn't be in I probably wouldn't have started with him.
Who would you have picked instead then? Just hypothetically.
I probably would have moved Lanzini to one of the wide positions and Anderson, whatever, done something there, those 2 wide, and then drafted either Wilshere or the Fornicator into, to play basically the Lanzini role there. But you can't argue with a goal. And he was heavily involved in the build-up play as well, Yarmolenko, and hopefully that gives him a bit of confidence. And I was going to say deserve, but it was nice for him. So if he could get a little run of games now, particularly bearing in mind he obviously scored the brace, didn't he, last season, and got injured quite quickly afterwards. So yeah, I think we just go again.
I think he does deserve a little run, Yarmolenko, because, well, he did get his goal. I thought he played okay against Norwich. I don't think he was bad. He does need to cut out, not the diving, but the going down too easy option. There was a couple of times he did against Norwich where if he stayed on his feet, he might have been able to get the cross in or something, but he seemed quite happy to go to ground pretty quickly. I'd like to see that cut out. There's just... Obviously, there's a pen, but with VAR now, there's no need for all this. You can hopefully rely on the referee, which isn't the case in some games. But yeah, it's the same starting 11 for me. It's just Pellegrini's easiest team selection so far, I think, since being at West Ham. So, I've got some alternative questions here. Are you worried about a lack of Plan B? Plan B has always been Mikel Antonio, so he's not there anymore. So it's going to be Wilshere, Fornals, Ayeti. But we don't know what it is yet. So are you a little bit, has Pellegrini got one? Or are you quite confident he's got something up his sleeve?
I wasn't worried about it at all until you brought it up. Now you made me feel nervous. I was all right. I was fine.
I'm worried about it because it's...
Oh, no, you'd have to impart that onto me. That was having quite a pleasant evening. Now I'm a bit, yeah, I guess he has. He just has to use a jetty if he's got him on there. You can't change it a lot because, as I keep banging on about pace, I'm like a scratch record, aren't I? You can't really change that up very much. You can't do a lot if it's not working for Yarmolenko in particular. And I say that just because we look so damn good down that left-hand side. We look a real threat, and we're still struggling to find a combination down the right. Two players that can look and work well with each other. And it was quite telling in an interview, maybe it was before the international break, I don't know, but Masuaku and Anderson were saying that they've been working on things and discussing things, and that's great. That's how partnerships are born, and that's how they progress and get better. So I'm not sure if we could change something up off the bench. So there is a plan B though. Whether it's an effective one is not, because we've got so many number 10s. Actually, we can just sort of completely change the style of what we're doing and not go with wide players. Go a lot more pack in the middle, if you like.
I'm a little bit concerned because Pellegrini's plan B has been bring on the pace and power, and Fornals and Wilshere certainly aren't pace nor power. Ayeti's got the power. I don't know if he's got pace or not. He could be a little speedster for all I know, but I don't think he is. But he's certainly tall and physical, Ayeti, so he's got the power. I don't necessarily agree with your thing. I think if Masuaku and Anderson have been working on the left-hand side in training, I'm pretty certain Fredericks and Yarmolenko will be doing the same as well, just that the club haven't produced an article on it. I think they've been linking up well, Yarmolenko and Fredericks. Whether they've been effective in producing the end ball, no, I don't think they have been. But I think they're... It was a Brighton game I highlighted at half-time, but you remember, I thought Yarmolenko kept playing Fredericks in quite a lot. I like that. The problem is what Fredericks then does with it. That's the problem. It's not the partnership, it's the end product. In our second goal against Norwich came from their partnership. Kind of came from their partnership, and Noble got involved as well. So yeah, I think they're doing okay down there. Who's our key player for this match, in your opinion? We've got quite a few big players, but which one? If you had to pick one.
If I had to pick one,
yeah,
I would probably go with Felipe Anderson. I have to say, what a magnificent player. But it's tough between him and Lanzini. But I do believe Lanzini, even as we go and record now, I think Lanzini's not even touched down yet. He's playing, so that's. As anybody that's ever had jet lag, it's hard, isn't it? Do you know what I mean? Jet lag is a bloody hard thing to get over, and you feel really spaced out, and it's so. And I know these are elite athletes and the rest of it, but that doesn't really matter, does it? So I wouldn't be surprised if he was slightly off it. So Anderson.
Lanzini's my main player. I'm aware of he's getting back into London tonight at some point. I'm just glad that our game's on Monday. I mean, imagine our game was tomorrow. Lanzini wouldn't even be in the squad, would he? So it's a bit strange, a bit stressful as a manager to have someone like that involved. But Lanzini's created the most chances in the Premier League this season so far, apart from Kevin De Bruyne. So for him to be second out of everybody in the Premier League is big. I know it's only 4 games in, but it's still a lot. I think it's 14 chances or something he's created, and we've got a striker that if you give him a chance, he will tuck it away. So I think this is where Lanzini comes in. Now Wesley, he worries me, Gonzo, because I think our defence is okay with players like Pookie. I think they're okay with players that play the ball on the deck, kind of strikers. But I think we struggle with Glenn Murray, Chris Wood, the big physical strikers. I think
the fella at Notts County.
Yes.
The number 15, whoever it was. Him.
Not Matt. Armand. I think his name's Armand or something.
Yeah.
But the big physical strikers we struggle with. Wesley, when I watched him against Everton, he was barging Keane and Mina out of the place. Mina couldn't handle him. Every time Mina went shoulder to shoulder with him, I think at one point, I think it might have been his goal actually, Wesley put him on the floor, like shoulder to shoulder, bang. The centre back went down. I think he did cry for a foul, but he just got out-muscled. And I worry a little bit because I think Diop struggles with physical strikers. So Wesley, does that concern you, or are you quite confident we'll handle him?
Well, once again, it didn't concern me before you started talking about it. You've been quite a depressing influence on this video. I'm sure people in the chat will agree. You probably made everyone feel terrible now. No, I hadn't even considered it, to be honest with you, Joe. I spent so much time worrying about West Ham that I haven't done. You know what have we won? 4 games on the bounce. Is that right? Have we won 4 games on the bounce? Or is it 3?
3.
There you go. See, there you go. Yeah, even I'm being more optimistic. So, no, I hadn't done, but yeah, I mean, you're right to be concerned about that, and you've got to take things, and also, you know, we are playing them at home as well, but I also do have to look and think, yes, they might have bought a player, but they are, you know, down near the bottom. They are newly promoted. We're on the crest of a wave, and I like to think that hopefully Diop and Ogbonna, which you'd assume that's the partnership he's going to go with, would be able to handle it. But I know what you mean about Mina as well, because he's a big physical player as well, isn't he?
Anybody bullied him. He genuinely bullied him throughout the 90 minutes. Mina couldn't handle him. He just couldn't get near him. Well, he did get near him, but Wesley almost enjoyed it. Wesley almost wanted him to come with him so he could just barge him out of the way. But anyway, confident. Are you confident for this one?
Yeah, very much so. Yeah, huge.
Why are you confident?
Why am I confident?
Elaborate, please.
I will elaborate, sir. Okay, I think we are starting to form a settled team. Earlier on, you alluded to the fact that Aston Villa don't necessarily know their best team. Well, we do at the moment, and it looks pretty good when it gets out on the pitch. I think that a third or fourth game in a row, whatever it might be, for the defensive partnerships, which are working all around. It's not just about Diop and Ogbonna. It's about Masuaku being there. All these partnerships that are starting to improve. We discussed Anderson. We discussed Yarmolenko and Fredericks. All these key partnerships start to develop. And there's another one there in Noble and Declan Rice. And Declan Rice should not be discounted. Declan Rice has, depending on which way you look at it, Declan Rice has possibly not had a great week as far as he's concerned. He might think he's had a fantastic week. He's represented England and it's gone very well, and he's won both games handsomely that he's participated in. But we're going to have a very, very motivated Declan Rice for this game, and that is going to be bad news for Aston Villa. You're going to have a very fit and refreshed Mark Noble next to him. Felipe Anderson's probably going to have the ump that he didn't play for Brazil, and if he can carry on the form that he had against Norwich, they're not going to be able to handle him. There's absolutely no doubt about it. They will not be able to handle him. Sebastian Haller, rested, he's had his feet up, probably thinks he should be playing for France as well. I just think there's so much going for us. Lanzini, you've even mentioned that. If Lanzini is not jet lagged, again, he's going to be as good as anything that they've faced in the Premier League, and probably better than anything they've faced in the Premier League thus far. I just think we've got an awful lot going for us, and behind all of that, we've got a wonderful, wonderful goalkeeper.
Yeah, I can only echo that, really. I think we've got... The main thing for me is if you look at the players that are going to start last season and pick out our 3 weakest players in that starting 11, we all know who they are. Masuaku, Ogbonna, Fredericks. That's who you look at and think they need to get upgraded. 2 of them are playing very well this season. Okay, so 2 of our 3 weakest players are now playing well. And Fredericks isn't even playing that bad. He's not playing bad at all. He's just not shining like Masuaku is, if you like. And we've just got personal reservations over him rather than thinking he's playing bad. Because none of us have spoke about dropping him for Zabaleta or Ben Johnson or that, because he doesn't deserve to be dropped. He's doing okay. But we've got quality in every position. They've got selection issues. One of their key players is suspended. It's hard not to be confident for this one, actually. It's difficult not to be, because we have won. We've put Norwich away. We kept a clean sheet. And since then, Pookie's gone and scored 2 goals in 2 games for Finland, and one of them was against Italy. Alright, it was from the penalty spot, but it doesn't matter. That's a confidence in form who we managed to keep quiet and keep a clean sheet against. Villa will be looking at that game thinking, oh bloody hell, this isn't who we want to rock up at Villa Park. A defence that's organised, a team that's scoring goals, a creating and stuff. And also our bench, it's just better than Aston Villa's on Monday night. Can Pellegrini utilise it properly and effectively? That's the big question. You have to hope so, you'd expect so. But Wiltshire and Fornals maybe on the bench. Yeti, Snodgrass, Sanchez. Now, as much as people might turn their nose up at Snodgrass and Sanchez, Monday night they would have a very valid stake to get into that Aston Villa starting 11. Villa wanted Robert Snodgrass in the summer, I think, to go there and compete. So just got a lot going for us. And with all that in mind, Gonzo, may I have your score prediction, please, sir?
Yeah. Just a quick waffle first. What you've got to bear in mind when we're dealing with this, football is obviously about talent, how technically good you are. It's about fitness, and those are going to, whatever percentage you think those contribute towards the 100%, they are vast. But there's also something which is mindset, which is going to have quite a lot to do, and is quite a tangible thing going into a football match. Whatever we think about Aston Villa and we praise their players, their mindset cannot be great going into this. Even if they're not completely downbeat, the seeds of doubt will certainly have been sown. They are a newly promoted club. They find themselves at the bottom of the Premier League. So they do not go with this with a bounce. The team talk, I'm guessing the manager will want to take the pressure off of them, but very much the feeling in the dressing room beforehand was, look, we need to start getting some wins. We need to, it's not panic stations, but there will be more of a desperation to them. We go there with a spring in our step, and that little change in mindset, I don't know how much percentage it's worth, Gio, but it's certainly worth something. With that in mind, I think they possibly will score against us despite our mean and stingy defence against Norwich. But I still think we'll have 3 goals in us, so I think I'll go with 3-1.
I think they'll score as well. I do think Wes is going to trouble us, by the way. I do think he's going to cause us problems. It then becomes a question of winning the second ball. If Wes gets the first one, you better damn well make sure Jack Grealish isn't following up or something. You've got to get the second one. And that's what it's about. Because while he did really good against Everton, he still only scored 1. And Villa got their second goal with the last kick of the game or something like that. And they were clinging on quite a bit. So I'm going to say 2-1 West Ham. It's an optimistic 2-1. Doesn't say with much confidence, but I'm confident we'll score. And I'm quite hopeful we'll score 2. It's just a case of only allowing them to score 1 at the most. And if we do that, we should get 3 points. Anyway, that's been Gonzo. That's not been Charlie. I've been Gio. We've been Hammers Chat. You can join us on Monday night. Monday night you can join us for the review straight after the game. We might do another video before it, like a build-up one or a half-time live or something. I'm not 100% sure yet. You'll have to find out on Monday on the channel, so come along then. But subscribe if you're new around here. Drop a like on the video if you've enjoyed it. Catch you in a bit.